All right, special shit right there, guys. Welcome back to episode 11 of Pod Podular. My name is Scotty Fuller, and my co-host Nate Schuler is joining me as well. Welcome to the show, guys. Got a cool one for you guys today. We are going to recap. We're going to put 2024 to rest, so to speak. Me and Nate are both going to be presenting our top 10 moments of the year, top 10 songs or segs or whatever that looks like. We're going to get into some stats that Chris Ariznarea, can never say that man's name right. I'm sorry.
A Rose Arena.
A Rose Arena
There we
um,
go. Yep.
put together for us. And then we're going to get into a hot give and take from Nate. We're going to talk about last week's question, and we're going to get into to next week's question. So that's the agenda for the day. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing good. Before I say anything, I want to let Zach bring this clip home. We're going to play a couple of Zach clips from this year, and this one just gets me fired up.
How we doing? How we doing down there? How we doing over there? Down there?
We were over there.
Right here! Right here! All the way at the fucking top! What the fuck is up? Let's fucking go! We got one more set. Thank you guys so much. We'll be right back.
Woo!
Let's fucking go, Scotty!
I'll fucking rip my shirt off, dude.
How much gosh darn fun was that, man? I think that when you think about 2024, the crowning moment of live STS9, that's got to be, I would say, if you pulled the whole fan base, that would probably come up as number one. I know we've both got our own top tens to go through today, but amongst the whole fan base, I would say that would be the fan favorite. That would win the Academy Award for Best Picture, by the way. Yeah.
If you were there, it certainly is. I don't
Yeah.
think you could possibly argue against that moment if you were there. If you miss Red Rocks, you were in Chicago, you might say lettuce.
Yeah.
If you missed both those and you were in New Orleans, you might say the Jeff Coffin Kawhi. In my opinion, just sit-ins are special, and that Jeff Coffin Kawhi was extremely special. But I agree, man. Sound Tribe in the round, facing each other amongst the people. Man, that just gave me all the feels all over again. I hope that's not the last time they do something like that. It would be great to see them do kind of a more intimate, surrounded by the fans type setup, a la like a boiler room set.
Yeah, they did a whole lot of fun stuff this year.
Yes.
And we've seen the band before when they do a couple things and start to do things, it starts to become a trend, and that's a trend I'm on board with. It's a little bit of trickery, the hidden Jeffrey trick, right? Remember when they just started playing Come Why, and I was like, where the fuck is Jeffrey? Where is he? Then
We're not going to finish this without him.
Yeah, but they were acting like as if everything was fine. Like it was like, is he okay? Like, what
Is no
did
one looking for this man?
Yeah, abracadabra.
Someone find Jeffrey.
Yeah, but have you seen this drummer? Reward $1,320. This is really cool stuff. 4-set Red Rock show it starts with an axe set. Just first talking about that, man. Really cool, and that being a redo from them controlling the weather a little bit too much was a pretty cool way to make up for sure. But
yeah,
2024 as a whole, man. We again, thank you, Chris, Mr. Rosarina, for breaking down these stats. He's got some really cool stuff that he shared with us here that we wanted to talk through about just the year in general and putting a bow on it after recapping the New Year's run last week, which again, I think today you'll see a little bit less of discussion of the New Year's run just because we talked about it for damn near 2 hours last week, right? So
yes.
This is kind of rest of 2024 as a whole, but I'll let you start, man. To taking a look at the stats from this year, what stands out for you to start?
Yeah, I'll start off with the overview, and then I'll kind of tell you the first thing that jumped out to me. So year in review, we got 36 shows played, 23 standard 2-set and an encore type shows. I guess that Red Rock film, which was 4. 7 festival shows, 3 act sets, 2 Chromolite sets, 1 wave spell set, and a number that Nate, you and I both gawked at when we saw it:
Bro.
181 unique songs played.
Okay,
That has
so
not been talked about enough.
yeah, and let's break this down because I was talking with Gina about this, and for people who aren't as big of nerds about us, what do we mean exactly by unique songs? It basically means what is in rotation at this point, right?
Mhm,
Um, and I think the previous year you were talking about and so impressed with was 2019, and that number is 165, right?
mhm. Yeah,
181 in about half as many shows is
yeah,
absolutely spectacular. That is
yeah.
unbelievable variety that you're getting. And I think you saw a lot of that within the set lists of the shows.
Mm,
Of like, hey, you're getting stuff from 1999, you're getting stuff from 2005, you're getting stuff from '08, you're getting stuff from 11 and 12, you're getting brand new stuff, you're getting stuff from early Alana days, right? Um, it just shows off where they're at and the handle they have in their catalog right now. And I think that's got to be the biggest takeaway from for me, is just the comfort of their catalog right now and how they're all making it all work, right?
yeah.
And 181 songs and only 2 debuts, right?
That
Only
that's
two
also
songs.
that's also twice the amount of 2007. I know we're not comparing anymore, but just to kind of bring it back to how crazy of a number that is. That's about it's about twice as many as were in 2007. I think it was like 90 something in 2007, and now you're talking like 3 times as many shows in that year.
Yeah,
I would have to, I would have to, or I wouldn't do anything. I would have to have Chris do this for me, which I'm sure he's not doing.
yeah,
But I can't imagine there's a year that has more unique songs than 2024.
yeah. I don't think so. I mean, like it wouldn't make sense at a certain point in their career. I think before
Yeah,
like, oh, do they have 180 unique songs before
no,
Artifacts, right? Um,
certainly not before Artifact. I would say that the closest that they would be to that would be like after When the Dust Settles EP. I mean, that would be have to be their entire catalog at that point before they had that many, and it might not even be up to that many at that point.
Yeah, I mean, like this is like comparable to yards per carry when you're thinking about this. Like
Yeah.
STS9 was almost a human first down this year, meaning 181 unique songs played 530 times. That means each song is being played less than 3 times on average this year. And over the
Hmm.
course of 36 shows, that means you're catching one song about more than every 10 shows,
Yeah,
right?
and actually, when you look at the top songs played, the most often songs played, that checks out perfectly. The most played song this year was Searchlight at 9.
Yeah.
So you had a 1 in 4 chance of getting a Searchlight, but it goes down pretty quickly from there. Chris didn't do the whole thing, but yeah, that averages out really correct. Really, it looks right. I'm gonna go ahead and eat some shit here while we're talking about top songs played. I still think that take is horrible about Sheldon Circus, but I pushed back a little bit about how often it was played. I didn't realize that it was played 7 times this year.
I'm
Um,
saying, yeah.
that's that Circus is a little more special than almost it's almost 1 in 4. I'm not doing the math in my head. It's not quite, but
No, that
you
makes
had a
sense. Yeah.
you had a pretty good chance of getting a Circus this year.
Hmm.
Which lucky everybody in my opinion. I don't want to shelf it, but you're right. They did play it more than I expected this year.
And that's okay. I mean, yeah, like okay, so top song played, Searchlight at 9. I think that's
Mhm,
that is clearly the song they're having the most fun with out of their most recent release, right?
yes.
You can expect that, and they did
Mhm,
some really different stuff with it. We saw a really long one at Resonate. We saw one at the New Year's run that was more of a segue into a song, and then we saw them do some different things with modular jams with it. So it's like it's not exactly the same as getting slapped with World Go Round the way we did it, where it was kind
yeah.
of the same every time.
Mhm, yeah.
And then the tied for second, these two tracks, I cannot get enough of Glass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eight glasses, eight Never Nevers. I want to like. I'm jokingly relabeling Never Never with the amount they're playing it with Always Always
Always, always.
or probably. Uh, but
Probably is
this
hilarious.
but when I'm in the crowd, I'm like, yep. So like
Also, can we talk
yeah,
about six Mere Souls in 1 year, dude?
crazy.
Huh.
And it felt like more than that, honestly. I was
Yeah.
surprised, but not in a bad way. It just felt like that song was hitting you from so many different directions, and I'll keep saying it and drilling it into the ground that every single one of them has been so unique. And I don't think we've even clipped one yet. So
I was clipping one for this episode. I've got one on my top 10 list. But I settled for a couple of longer ones, but that was my first out was the Mere Soul from Red Rocks.
So we'll have to get to that. And part of the reason I probably didn't clip it on this show is like it's hard for me to decide which is my favorite, honestly.
I have a personal attachment to one. I'll get into that when we start talking
Yeah,
about it. But
good,
yeah.
good.
And
I'm
then
glad you're hitting on it.
The last section Chris gave us is pretty cool. We've got songs longer than 1320. For those not familiar with the significance of that number, 1320 is STS9's record label that I don't believe is very active right now, but over the past 15 years or so, some really heavy hitting artists have been signed to 1320. Rohan, who we had a couple weeks ago, was signed to 1320 through Modern Measure. And so we had how many? You counted it up, Nate? Would you say 40 something songs that were over 13 minutes and 20 seconds?
40, 40 on the dot.
40 on the dot. Okay.
Longest jam. Let's not mention it yet because it is one of my clips.
I think we have the same number one.
Yeah, but one that really stands out there that we might need to get back to at some point is that Gob Nugget from
that was another one that I was gonna clip out before I did it. That's on my list. That Gob Nugget is exquisite.
But we should talk about second longest jam of the year, Vapors. What?
Like, what show is that?
I'm on board with it. 9/13.
Is that Charleston? Is that Charleston?
Yeah, I think so. I should probably
I have to go back to that Vapors.
Yeah. Really good Vapors in Chicago too. So I know Chris plans to share all this information and make it look pretty and everything like that and get his graphic design on, but really cool to be able to just break 2024 down by the numbers, as well as I know both me and you are big stat nerds and everything like that. And I know a lot of you guys are too. So
you know something else I'm noticing on this 1320 list, and then we can get into our top tens. There's not a lot of repeated songs on here. You've got a couple Click Lang Echoes, but just going down this list, I'll skip the longest one because we're going to talk about it a lot. But Vapors, Gob Nugget, Oil and Water, Monkey Music, Moonsocket, ABCs, The Rabble, Click Lang Echo, Walk the Sky, Really What, Rent, It's All Right, Low Swagger, Totem, Evasive Maneuvers, Breathe In, Grow Blue, Seed, Out of This World, Big Basin. Still haven't repeated a song.
This is insane.
Equinox, Poseidon, Phoneme, Strange Games, STS9, Click Lang Echo. First song I've repeated. ABCs, The Rabble. Okay, so you get the point though. They are actively taking songs and go, all right, it's your turn now. It's your turn. Now it's your turn.
These songs are getting the Shane Gillis treatment in that everyone can get it. Everyone is getting the treatment. Like we're gonna make fun of everybody. Yeah.
I thought we were having fun here.
This is a comedy show. It's a kid's show. Watch your language. But yeah, top 10, man. I don't think it really matters who goes first, but do you want to do a Zin flip?
Let's alternate.
We're gonna alternate, but who goes first? Why not? We'll do the ceremony Zin flip
Zin
again.
Side, win side.
Gotta cover this so you guys don't take my points. The Cool Mint 6 will be heads.
All right.
Feedback will be tails. Call it in the air.
Cool Mint 6.
You got it. You go first.
Bang. Let's see here.
Is your first one a clip, Scotty?
No.
Okay.
My second one is. My number 10 is the only New Year's one that I have. It's Out of This World, Frequencies Out of This World. I could not stop listening.
Wait, no, call it by its right name. Sequences.
Sequencies. The Sequencies suite. That's great. Yeah, Sequencies suite. We talked about it a lot last week, so I won't get into it too much, but just love seeing a newer song mixed up with an older song. Out of This World needs to be played more. And I hope that's something they continue to play around with, because it worked really well with Frequencies, and I'd like to see what else they had up their sleeves with it.
Love that. Starting in New Orleans. I'm gonna start in Big Indian, and I'm gonna start with a clip.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say for now, and we can talk through it after.
Women screaming.
That was me. have
Ooh.
liftoff.
Dude, between the opening clip and that, I am ready to go to war.
Yep. Put me into the Orange Bowl right now.
Right now. I will dig Notre Dame out of this hole.
Yeah. Well, dude, percussion masterclass there.
Absolutely.
Big thing here, and it was a common theme in a lot of the modular jams, a lot of the improv sections. So that was improv part 2 from Elsewhere from the Wave Spell set, which, Scotty, if you know anything about me, my favorite version of STS9 is Wave Spell.
Same.
Part 2. Ooh, man. Okay, like, so percussion masterclass, like it's the extra measures added to those buildups, right? It's almost, it was like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, it's like, it just adds a little bit more drama to, not like excitement and energy to those releases, where it's just like letting Hunter go on that new tone that he's messing with, like just stank face stuff here, right?
I found myself feeling a bit entitled when I was running through this Wave Spell set earlier today, because the one thing that I did think that made me feel like a little whiny baby when I looked at Chris's stats. One Wave Spell set the whole year. We have been getting treated with those since 2018, and it almost feels weird to only have one to talk about when there've been at least a couple per year.
I'd like to see one a quarter.
The thing about those Wave Spell sets that I think is so special is I wish they would do them on bigger scales, on bigger stages, because more people should see that. That is,
that's like tour with that, like or do a series of 3-night runs like a la 2015, where like one night add a Wave Spell set like you did to the one night of the Eastern run, right?
Right. Run. Or if you don't feel like doing a 3-set show on a 4-night run, just do a whole Wave Spell night like you did at the Paramount. I am with you, man. That they just find each other so well during those sets, and the energy's palpable. They're mostly done in smaller rooms. They're all done in smaller rooms.
When was the last one before that?
As I was saying, I felt like
was it the Eastern?
Yeah, it was the Eastern in 2022. So we actually didn't get one in 2023. You're right.
It's far too long, right? Give me and how many act sets this year? 4, was it?
3.
3 act sets.
Yeah.
3 act sets. Yep. Trade me all of those for Wave Spell sets. That's my early hot take for you.
I was gonna actually say the same thing. That it's not even my week to do a given hot take, but I would trade an axe set for a Wave Spell set every single time. I'm not even really interested in an axe Wave Spell set. I know they did that in
DC, did they not? Yeah,
false stretch. Don't do it again. When you're doing that improv like that, I want you to have all your weapons out.
Yeah, we need the laptops.
Yeah, that just adds so much more texture to everything.
For sure.
Getting back into my list and my first clip of the night. It is from 420 Nashville. But while I let Nate pull this clip up, I'll tell a little story.
Yeah, it's ready, but yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say this night is pretty special to me. I have triplet little brothers and sisters, and I got to bring one of them, Parker. Shout out to you, Parker. I love you, little guy. Little guy. He's in college. What the fuck is my problem?
He's a grown ass man.
I just see him as a 3-year-old still. I don't want to think of him. He's just so adorable. But I got to bring him to my world for a couple of nights. had a great team to bring him in with. You were with me that weekend, and he was met with lots of hugs and high fives and welcome to the families, and got to get a fat load of this clip that we're about to show you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the actual music after that. I'm so glad this is a video.
A lot of videos today. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what the fuck do you want?
First, I'll go to the moon.
Yeah, Gina, right there.
Yeah, Justin too. God, that venue was so cool. Yeah, Zach.
The Funk Zone.
Great look, Tibbs.
Oh man.
Oh, you know, I was the little competition thing, the top 9 of the year that they did a few weeks ago. That was the only problem that I really had with that, is that the best moments did not happen in one song this year. They
Yeah.
they they happened across a stretch. And
Yeah.
so, what do you pick out of that to put on your list? Nothing, honestly, because you're just looking for standalones at that point. So I was saying to you, a lot of this didn't make it on my top 9, because I felt like I was kind of playing a different game than I am tonight. But that was Golden Gate into Arigato, and to Feel It into Arigato. Man, what do you say about that? Zach had it on his shirt. Funk Zone, just
Yeah.
absolute
Most certainly.
party,
Yeah.
party on the roof in Nashville, Tennessee.
Man, these videos are awesome. This light rig was awesome. The camera angles are awesome. For anybody watch or listening on Spotify or Apple Music, this would be an episode to go maybe check out on YouTube for sure. Yeah, they just look so cool.
Great looks by Tiberius there. Just very clear that he's having a lot of fun in that clip as well.
A really stripped down Feel It too, not as over the top or too high energy or anything like that. Not that the original is too high energy, but a really kind of cool laid back version that you saw.
Yeah, a little jazzy, little funk.
Yep.
Yeah, I just my bag. I love Golden Gato. I feel like if you had asked me which song I thought they were going to play the most from that rave spell night, I would have said Feel It 100%. That song doesn't pop up enough for me. I hope that's one that we see a lot more in 2025.
Good stuff. Well, taking it into my number 9 pick, I also have a video from that same weekend the night before.
Nice. Look at Jeffrey.
Look at him.
I'd stream a whole show of just this angle.
You tell him, Hunter. Yeah.
Oh, pull the lasers out, Tiberius.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
They're just gonna keep going too.
God damn it, dude.
Touchdown.
Arrest those people.
That's enough of that. What? I'm thinking twice about that being in my number 9 spot. I've been
Oh
waiting,
my.
Scott. I've been waiting 10 episodes to talk about that.
I had the realization halfway through that I have certainly not gone back and watched these Nashville shows.
Isn't it awesome, man? Like,
Oh my gosh.
they're so freaking cool. They look
that-
so they're
that
they're
angle-
so they're so photogenic and videogenic. It's crazy.
That angle going through Zach's drum set through Hunter and showing Phipps right there. I mean, fucking put it in a movie theater. Like
Yep.
just cinema. Cinema.
So for people who are wondering, that was Walk the Sky from Nashville on 4/19, 2024. First set ender. I remember during that set break being like, what the hell just happened? That was absolutely ridiculous. So
Man, the Sky Deck was a special weekend.
yes, that run was
venue
ridiculous.
That venue is very cool. For those that don't know, it is a sky deck. It's what it sounds like. It is a rooftop concert venue right on Broadway. You look down Broadway and see all the craziness happening below you. I was a little worried about the acoustics of that place before they started playing, because Broadway's a loud street, but it works pretty well. I can't remember too many times where I felt like I was hearing anything other than the band, and I would absolutely go back to Nashville for a run at that venue.
The one thing was the rattling a little bit of like the floorboards from
Yeah,
the balconies and the one bathroom on the one side for sure. But
sure.
I mean, just a really cool place to see him for sure. Just blasting lasers onto Bridgestone Arena, like yeah, fuck the
Yeah.
Preds. Like
I think Tyler Childers was playing across the street that night. I almost was like, "Fuck Tyler Childers," but I
Shane,
like
yeah,
Tyler Childers.
Shane Gillis was in town too, man.
Yes, he
You were
was. That
like,
was such a
man, you were like, we can't go to that. Kate would be so sad.
yes, she would. I actually got tickets for Shane in March down in Colorado Springs.
Jealous.
Um, yeah. So anything else to say about that?
No, let's move on.
All right. At my 8th spot is not a clip. Uh, one that I feel like would have been discussed a lot more if it weren't in the first show of the year. This is the Clicklang Echo modular from Envision. Where's it? Costa Rica? Is that where
Yep.
Envision
Yep.
is? Okay. Just an awesome modular. Really kind of set the tone for the year that we were about to experience with really exploring the modular jam.
That was the first show of the year, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
first show of the year. Just a tone setter, really. If you haven't heard it, go back and check it out. It's just a super high energy Clicklang modular jam, and it was on that. This one was on my top 9. And I couldn't believe it wasn't on more, but it was show 1 of 36, so it doesn't surprise me that it kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Well, it set up what was a really good year for that song too.
Yeah.
So 100% worth checking out. One that I got to dive into a little bit deeper too. My number 8, not a clip either, but I got a little bit of media to share from this. Scotty, I'm going to share image first. Going back to Big Indian for the request set. Elsewhere night 2. Full 2-set show of all fan requests. And believe it or not, I wasn't the one to put this water song in, but thank God somebody else did. Water song. So we walked in that venue the first night, and they had this is a swanky place. They had like containers of umbrellas at the door of the area that they were playing. And the first night we're walking in, we're joking like, "Yo, if they play water song, we're busting those out for sure." So they started hitting you with the rain samples and everything like that. And I go back to go get the I go back to go get the umbrellas, and Jason Myers had already beaten me to it. He's already got an armful of umbrellas. Take them, bro. Pass them out. Pass them out. Like someone was like, "Isn't this bad luck to open an umbrella indoors?" And we were like, "No." One person said that. I was like, "Absolutely not. This is the best luck that we could possibly do." So this,
I mean, it's raining inside. You need umbrellas. I mean, it's just a practical thing.
Get your umbrellas out, because that's when I brainstorm. The photo captured by Memorandum Medium as well, which is Jason. If you don't follow him on socials, do it. He doesn't just take insanely awesome photos of STS9. Lots of other great live music photos there too, but this one is pretty cool. There's me right here, and then Travis. Travis with the upside down umbrella.
It was windy in Travis's storm.
And the band just was smiling ear to ear while we did this. And then they got into the drum and bass portion, and everyone was like, "All right, we got to put this away and freaking get down." And I did have another. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I love that Jason set this photo up.
Yes.
I hadn't heard the story behind it. Honestly, I thought that this was something that Tiberius might have organized.
No, it was fan sourced for sure.
That's amazing. That makes this picture so much better to me.
And I have the second Zach of the night to share of his reaction to this, which I thought was pretty funny.
You guys are cool as shit, dude. The umbrella trick. Are you fucking kidding? That was cool. Wow.
Oh.
Thank you, guys.
I don't know what
That's
she said there, but that was Gina. That was Gina talking for sure.
sure is hollering at the band. So that's my number 8. And a really good, not just the moment and all that, but a really good water song too, which is one of my favorites. But go to your number
and
7.
and one of only a couple from that year. That song didn't pop up very much at all.
Right.
My number 7 is Improv 3 from Big Indian. Just a funk onslaught. Alana
Now,
kicking the
yeah.
door in immediately with her bass. And it really doesn't stop. I even have a timestamp next to this on my on my list because it was going to be one of the ones I did, but I liked your improv better, honestly. So we just went with that. But improv 3, super party. I thought about doing 4 because the modular sample that they use is one that came up a fair amount in other modular jams.
Oh,
And it just
also in the improv 3, the little I think the is either Totem of the World Go Round tease in there that just
yeah.
got the whole crowd going by Phipps. That was
Uh-huh.
pretty cool too. Yeah. But what are you saying
Yeah,
about 4?
it was between this and 4, and I almost did 4 just because 4, it's like the most explored version of that particular modular sample that came up a couple times. But just I'm a funk guy, so improv 3 for me was my favorite part of that entire wave spell.
Good stuff. Number 7 for me, we won't talk about it too much. It's the Come Alive from Red Rocks in the round,
Okay.
the hidden Jeffrey trip. So that is 7 for me. No need to spend too much time on it. We saw it. What a good old time there. So
Yep.
Scotty, 6 for you.
The 6th spot. This is my Mirror Soul. Mirror Soul from Red Rocks. Mirror Soul modular. This one, honestly, like you said, you could grab any Mirror Soul for this conversation. They're all very different and very unique. But my wife, Kate Fuller, has seen 90 plus STS 9 shows. My wife has seen 90 plus STS 9 shows. From her first show ever, her answer to what is your favorite STS 9 song was Come Why. No question. She's never wavered on it. It's always been her go-to. She's a that girl. So the drum breakdown, that's just her bag. She turns to me about the time that modular starts and she goes, I think Mirror Soul is my new favorite STS 9 song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That song got her so good in that moment that she abandoned her Come Why for a new one, so to speak. And that Mirror Soul is just so much fun.
The distorted samples at the end. Oh my
Yeah.
god, where it's just like with the lasers, it was just like 8-bit reality, just ripping into a new reality. Yeah, it was pretty sick.
So good, good. What's your 6?
6? Got a little bit more content to share here as well. This might be a cheat code too. It's not an actual song. It was a moment that got to happen at Elsewhere. Gina brought her. And then, break that down. The audio is not that great, so I'm not going to share the audio. But Gina being guided on stage by Jeffrey to jam with Alana and Zach here. You see, she's like asking like, "What key are we in?" As in Gina knows what she's talking about here. Really, really cool stuff. There's another video here too, of like Zach just like breaking down like or like. Here we go. Yeah. Just grooving with Alana and Zach here. The open jams at Camp Elsewhere were so cool. Getting an opportunity to play with the band. They had a house band set up, and a bunch of people brought their instruments. Jables brought his whole modular setup. We had Chris Vasquez on this clip too. So just like experiencing the band interact with the fans, like Zach looking at Gina like, yeah, let's go.
I know logistically this was probably impossible, but I would have loved for to hear a recording of this. I would say of all of the Camp Elsewhere stuff, this jam, just getting to see all, and I don't play an instrument, so I wouldn't have taken part in this, but I would have been beaming from seeing all of my friends up there doing that. And those clips just didn't do enough for me. I really would have liked to hear that whole thing from front to back, no matter how rough it was. It would have been cool to get like a Bandcamp exclusive of that.
For sure, and section it out with credits of who is playing what. And
sure,
stuff. That'd be cool. So sorry, Gina, you didn't make my top 5. Top 5 strictly business, okay? But get a little spotlight there in the top 10. That was a top tier moment for me of just my entire fandom of STS9. So into your top 5 here, Scotty.
Into my top 5, and my number 5 is a clip. A clip from another one from Resonate, the I believe the opening night of Resonate. I honestly, I run through everything when it comes out, but I didn't really remember this moment when I found it, and I found myself just being mind blown that this wasn't one that keeps being talked about, because it's just so indicative of where they are right now as a band, with the new and the old and mashing it all up together. So without further ado, you can go ahead and play.
There he is. He's back. He threw his. Did you throw your headset, buddy?
Through my headset. I was just feeling it too much.
How about that? Pulling up a little stats mid clip there. First People's opener ever.
Ever.
Only People's opener ever.
Go look for another one. It doesn't exist.
The glass in there. Oh my God. The drum and bass. Zach is an animal, dude. Everyone took turns hitting it on this one, dude. They ran a train on it.
I also think it's worth mentioning that for some reason the first part of the Peoples was broken off of this, but the second part of the Peoples was attached to the glass. If you put this whole thing together, this is the longest song of the year.
It is the longest jam. I guess so. The longest jam
by about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
by about 2 minutes. I mean, it's substantial.
There's no modular like end or let down to it. You know, it's full on start to finish. Man, I'm glad we got the chance to do this because there are a lot of awesome shows that happened after we started this show.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, Resonate was awesome. It was so cool. It was my first time at Suwannee. I don't know if I'm gonna make it this year, but if anyone hasn't been to Suwannee and is thinking about going this year, I would definitely do it. Yeah, because this was, I remember talking about it, but like it's just like it seems so long ago. Bitchin' monkey music in this set, 15-minute monkey music here too.
And it's kind of the same thing with that with the Click Clang Echo modular from Vision, right? This is unfortunately one of the earlier things that happened this year, and so it kind of at the end of the year gets forgotten about at the bottom of the barrel. But that is a top of the barrel People's glass People's, and yeah, the only time that's ever happened, I had no idea. That was a slick little move you just pulling up the stats mid song. Because that makes this that much cooler for me. And honestly, if I had known that, I might have. That was kind of what I was thinking with this one. Is I wish I had ranked this a little bit higher.
It's tough to rank these, dude. That was insane. Thank you for clipping that. So
no problem.
Get into my top 5. We got the last video clip of the evening here. And Scotty, I don't know if you've seen this video, or I know probably a lot of people haven't. There's a lot of visual parts to this too that I'm going to talk about, but we'll get into it.
I didn't know this existed at all.
Watch the lights.
Yeah. God.
Oh.
Whoa. Yeah, turn this off if you're listening to it on Apple and go to YouTube.
The rain and the rain and the lasers.
It's like God's throwing glitter.
Watch Hunter here. Right here. Right here. Turn me up. Yep, got it. What?
You're so cool, Tiberius.
Oh, got something on that.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So this is May 24th, 2024, Soulshine Reverie. Let's cut that out. Summer Camp Music Festival, Three Sisters Park, Chillicothe, Illinois. Shine Pigeon account on YouTube. Bunch of awesome videos he has of a bunch of different bands. He's got a ton of old Sound Tribe shows where he'll mix soundboard and audio audience recording with like a HD camera that he'll set up. This whole set is on here. This is a must watch for anybody that hasn't seen this video yet. This was part of 2 nights. It's obviously Ramona Namiglio here. The second night was a late night Red Barn show that a lot of people preferred to the first night. I liked this night better. This is my Ramona of the year. Visually, you said, Tiberius, you're so cool. He is so cool. He was not there that night. Tiberius had COVID here. This, my friend, was a combined effort from the boy, Chandler Thoman, on lasers, GT lasers. Shout out Chandler, same guy that did lasers at Red Rocks. He's a huge STS9 fan. And then on lights was Alex MacArthur, a good friend of Tiberius. He's handpicked him to do it. Alex MacArthur has run lights for Big G in the past. He's currently running lights for John Summit. John Summit was another.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So he's a big fan too. He said before this, him and Chandler had to program the John Summit and STS9 lights the night before on the stage. He said, we spent 3 hours programming the John Summit show because this is all cue related and super specific to like the songs he's going to play. He said, we spent 5 minutes talking about STS9 because we were like, yo, we know the music. We're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Like the time. Shout out Alex. Shout out Chandler. Shout out GT Lasers. Obviously, I love Tiberius, but the light work throughout this show is fantastic. It's really cool to see a different artist's take on STS9, especially one who's a fan that has the timing down, right?
So neat.
Yeah.
like, I don't know much about Laser Shark, but Laser Shark comes to mind when he ran those couple shows in Chicago
Mhm.
back in 2016 when Saxon got sick. And I feel like a lot of the complaint about him was that it didn't feel like he was familiar with sts Nine's music.
Right. The
It was
timing.
still cool. It was still cool to see something different, and he played with a lot of shadows and did a lot of stuff, honestly, that Tiberius is doing now.
Mhm.
But the timing just wasn't there. I, I am dumbfounded by the fact that that was not Tiberius, just based on how perfectly everything was timed out. Also, there was like an asymmetry to it. It's at some point that I've never seen anyone other than Tiberius really do.
He played
Outside of
with he played with shadows a lot.
yeah, outside of
Yeah.
like CK5, which we talked about before, but
Hmm.
just wow, man! I did not know that video exists. How cool! Somebody that's running soundboards into fan shot footage. Thank you, Shine Pigeon. Is that what you just said that name was?
Shine Pigeon is the name of the account. Yeah. I'll throw the link to it in the in the description and everything like that. But big shout out to
Yeah,
Chandler Thoman. He is the boy. He got 2 opportunities to work with STS9 this year, and he said that was crowning achievement of a career that he was looking to accomplish. And then yeah, Alex filling in for Tiberius here. Really cool stuff. So
excellent, excellent, and a great Ramon.
mhm.
Um, Number 4 spots. We are pretty much exclusively till we get to number 1. I think we haven't shared each other's lists, but these next few are going to be stuff that we've talked about before. A Big Basin from Chicago. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but this is the Big Basin that made me a Big Basin fan. I am now looking for that song to be played knowing how big it can get. I was texting
Yeah.
Colin my go
You
ahead.
know what? You know what, Gina? You're out the top 10. That one's in my top 10 too. Sorry, continue.
I was texting Colin Meyer about this while it was happening and just gawking at how big it kept getting. You were talking about I forget which song you were talking about, but just those extra measures that seem to just take it to another level. Big Basin just dripping with that in Chicago, and by far my favorite Big Basin ever.
Have they hit it since?
No, no, and they
That's a
shouldn't
good.
let it,
That's
let
a
it smoke.
that's a good sign. That is a
Hmm.
good sign. That does extra. They either that was rehearsed or not. I don't care. What they're doing is they heard that and like, okay, well, like oh, now this is what we want this song to be full time.
Hmm.
So I think that's a really good sign. So that first Big Basin of 2025, calling it now is gonna smoke.
Yes. Hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, big number 4 for me, Dem B busts out of Red Rocks, dude. I mean
Yeah.
um I had we've been talking about it for so long that like at that point I had almost forgotten about it. And then
Hmm.
they hit you with the Glenn Tells Kengo, right? And you're like, all right, well that's our bust out for the night. And
Yeah.
then they get into Dem B. Uh this is a song I've been waiting to hear for a long time. So to get the Demby at Red Rocks. That's my number 4. Enough said. Not a whole lot to talk about with it. So
Absolutely. If you had told me on January 1st, 2024, that my top 3 were going to be 2 standalone covers and then an STS9 song at number 1, I'd have told you to fuck off. Um, Dude, we can't get through this top 10 and not talk about Thriller a little bit. I know we've talked about
okay,
it ad nauseum, but
yeah,
Thriller is my number 3. Big giant standalone STS9 stamp on that Thriller. Um, I know it's a song that's very Halloween themed, and so chances of us seeing it outside of that setting are pretty low, but I would really like for this to be one of those songs that pops up when you least expect it, a la kind of how you'd like Circus to pop up.
I don't think that's out of bounds because the last time they were messing with Thriller in 2013, we saw it at a series of shows. So I know we
Yeah,
talked about that in our Halloween recap, but I'm with you. That's got to be one of my honorable mentions. It's not on my list here. But yeah, number 3 for me. Finally, Scotty. Finally, my first Just Thanks. We're going back
yes,
to Camp Elsewhere, the same set during that Water Song that we talked about earlier, the full request set, opening with it. That was the request that I sent in. It was I got my first Squish Face that show too. So I was like debating between those two songs when I was filling out that form. I was like, you know what? It's always the Just Thanks that I'm thinking about. And to put the in parentheses after that, like modular or improv section, please, like after, and then to hear him not just make it that little, 3-4 minute version, but for it to kind of lift off into modular. And then, I mean, the version from Oakland might have been better, but this one for me, in terms of my top 10, the first one getting it and having it be by request from what I sent in, super special moment for me. So just man, elsewhere. Man.
I do this thing when I'm not at an STS9 show, where I'll wake up in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom, whatever, and my brain is trained to oh, set list is probably up. And I remember at 3:45 in the morning, pulling up this set list and seeing that Just Thanks and being like, yeah, Nate, I was so pumped for you. Because I knew that was your request. I knew that was what you were looking for. And I just remember, to nobody in particular, just a very late night fist pump for that one.
I felt it.
Yeah, good. Number 2, another one, Dark Star Cali. Just keep doing this with covers when you do it, guys. Good Lord, make it yours.
Yep.
We'll say it again, better than any Grateful Dead Dark Star I've ever heard.
Yeah, they took that song. They're like, my song now, totally my song.
That's my song. They Lil Wayne and 08'd it. That's not your song. That's my song, Mike Jones.
It got freestyle. Yeah, Beyonce, get out of here. Upgrade you. Like, no.
I'm going to upgrade it.
Yeah. Love that. So that's number 2 for you. Number 2 for
number
me is a cover as well. Black Satin with Lettuce in Chicago. I just, again, so much fun being had on stage, and the thing that'll be burned into my memory forever is one, just seeing Adam Deitch and Zach Velmer on the same kit, 2 of my favorite drummers of all time. Deitch Beats Don't Quit, and seeing them just step in and seamlessly switch drummers on the drum kit on the jam, so awesome. And to see them riding the drummer jet ski to freaking STS9 Island. I mean,
so good.
The crowd reaction to that the venue was absolutely up for grabs. It was, I've seen a lot of energy at a lot of STS9 shows. That has to be the full-fledged front to back whole venue, hands in the air, what is going on, high-fiving moment with the It's About Time too, the other Miles Davis track within that. So that's number 2 for me.
All right, let's say our number 1 together, because it's definitely both of our number 1s. 1, 2, 3.
Tooth. Good.
Camp Elsewhere. Camp Elsewhere. I mean, I knew it was going to be yours. And we didn't talk about it. It just is.
It's factual.
It just is. This isn't this. We have passed the opinion part of the podcast. We are dealing with business facts now. And this too. Thank you, Gina. Right? This was her request.
I don't think it was actually her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Forget what her request was specifically. Oh, it was Black Hole Swan was her request. Had to have been.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a clip. So before we say anything, we'll just get into that. Yeah. my God. Oh, there it was. Oh man, dude.
There's 4 more minutes of that too.
That's a root canal, dude. That's teeth.
Yeah, that is sharp teeth. That's tiger teeth. Or
I count 3 teases there.
okay, what you got?
First, I think the first 2 are pretty obvious, right? You start with the Poseidon tease, right? And then Hunter's distortion on that moon socket, dude, just brings me back to Groove TV, honestly, like 2001 recording. Well, Hunter's tone on this whole thing, when he brings Tooth back in, just like, oh my God, it's so strong and thick and heavy and spooky and huge. I heard a little bit of from I think Alana and Phipps, could have been either one of them. When the dust was in there too. A cornucopia of STS9 right there.
Yeah,
That's a jam of the year. And again, it's facts. We're not taking notes on this. So
that as a standalone is also what we've been talking about the whole time on Chris's list as the longest jam of the year. What's that clock in at, Nate? You still got it in front of you.
yeah, 1628.
1628. Yep. Just thanks STS9 for an amazing 2024.
Thank you for
Great
Camp Elsewhere.
Yeah. Even though I wasn't there,
You get to hear the recordings.
Yeah. I mean, just amazing. Hope to do that again. Hope to be involved, ideally. This episode is brought to you by Sets by Scotty, guys. I keep forgetting to say that every single week.
Of course it is.
But it is. Yeah. Great list, Nate. This was fun. This is by far the most fun podcast so far. And we're not done. We've got a given hot take, and it's your turn.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you played a clip of it too, because I didn't have one on here either. But I think it's a pretty relevant topic here today, and we got 8 of them this year too. Now in its 3rd year, Glass, and there's some levels to this. Glass is the most well executed release of a song, and possibly their best song they've ever written in their careers. Let me add some layers to this. Glass was the most ready for release, hot off the press debut I've ever seen. And they've continued to dig into it and add new sections and do fun things like we heard tonight with the Glass Peoples. And it is the most instantly timeless STS9 track I've ever heard. Therefore, I'm going to say it. Glass is not my favorite song, but I think STS9's best song.
Wow, a 3-year-old song.
Let me hear it, all you Ramon lovers. Let me hear it, all you Equinox lovers. Let me hear it, all you Breathing lovers. Guess what? You didn't dance as hard as you did on that Glass, baby.
I mean, okay, so let's clarify some things. So Glass was played the last night of the Eastern run for the first time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it sound? Let me ask you. Did it sound like it was the first time they played that? Obviously,
no,
it wasn't. But like live, other songs when they roll them out live, like it's like, it's still a little bit of a work in progress, and that's one of the beautiful parts about STS9. And it still was a work in progress, but man, that was a finished product, hot and ready, reverse seared, brought to your table, medium rare.
Did you come backstage with me that night?
No,
you didn't. That was
I was in no shape to do that.
I really wasn't either. But yeah, but I persisted. That was all anyone was talking about with the band that night. There was 3 or 4 of us talking to Hunter, and the question on everyone's mind was, what was that?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that take. I'd have to do a little more thinking before I can't argue with it.
Sure.
I love Glass. I loved it the first time I heard it. The first thing I thought was, I hope this is the first song on the new album.
Does it ever not fit right when they play it in a set list too? And they use it in so many places. And they can go so many places with it. And I'm excited to see the future of it. But yeah, like you said, I mean, I love a studio Glass. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not on the album for whatever reason, but like,
Yeah.
but yeah, stand by it.
I love that. I love that. I think Glass is as good as any song being played right now. They're obviously as comfortable with it as any other song. And I hope they see this because I think that's a pretty high compliment, and I'm not mad at it. I really love that take actually.
Chest pats for HB.
All right, chest pads for HB. Now we are going to. Sorry, I had it pulled up and then my phone refreshed. Give me.
We're at
a
our
second.
aha moment here.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Do you have one pulled up that you can do while I pull it up?
I do, and it's from Taylor Woolman here.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to start with too. That one's so good.
My my feed just refreshed here, so give me a second as I pull it up.
Shout out Taylor.
She's great. My aha moment with STS9 happened during the 2020 Visions run at the Tabby. No shit. It was only my second time seeing them, and I was still getting a feel for their sound. But then I found myself letting out a guttural scream from the balcony during the peak of STS9, and something clicked. In that moment, it hit me. This was more than just music. It was an emotional journey, like 3 years of therapy condensed into one transcendent show.
Yes.
Well said.
Yeah. Way to understand the assignment, Taylor. This is when we were talking about this last week. This is exactly the kind of answer I was looking for. When something happens deep inside of your spirit, and
it's involuntary.
Yeah, absolutely. I that's such a good answer. I got Brandon Giles, something like that. Brendan Giles. Been listening since 2015, but watching HB play Never Never for the first time at Resonate last year was like Harry Potter being told he was a wizard by Hagrid for the first time. My face was completely frozen. The way he matched the whine of the guitar to the sample on a whim was pure wizardry. I'm woefully ignorant when it comes to music theory and tech, so watching him play had me all hot and bothered. That's so good.
That sounds like you wrote that, man.
Yeah, no, it does.
I got a quick one here. 2005. This is Cliff McRoberts. 2005 NYE run. Pretty sure it changed my views on religion as well as music. LOL. We'll go with Satori. He found God.
He found God in STS9.
Find God, son. Yes.
So good. Guys, we're gonna run long if we hit all of these. Shout out to everybody that answered. Joe Weber, Brian Blute, you guys had really, really great answers. Earl Whitney, BP. His aha moment was Athens 2000. OG Orbital.
No big deal.
The way Zach played Orbital, said I am beyond sold, and he went to Madison, Wisconsin the next night to do it all over again. I guess. That's awesome, guys.
That's a fun back-to-back. Athens to Madison. Those are two great college towns.
That can't be right, though, right? That's a long trip.
I'll trust him.
Yeah, I'll trust you, BP. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the answers, and thank you guys all for the answers. We have a lot of fun with these, and we appreciate you guys contributing.
Yep. Prompt for this week, guys. The fun one. We'll put it in the lounge here, too. If you could eat dinner with one member of the band, who would it be and why? Love that.
Right. Yes,
and what would you eat? Let's hear what we'd be having as well.
Yeah. And actually, what do you think the band member that you pick would eat?
Yeah. That's fun.
Let's do it.
You're going to get some good ones here. Yeah.
I can't wait to think about this and get my answer.
That's a wrap on episode 11, guys. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to Bandcamp. Subscribe on YouTube. Like us. Do all the crap that you can. Leave reviews and stuff. Again, this has been an awesome journey. In 2024 will be a very special place in mine and Scotty's heart. And we'll be back at our regular, we promise, next week.
Yes.
Thursday morning. But have a great weekend, all, and much love.